Happy Wednesday, guys. This is hope you had a good day. This is my video emperor Michael. How are you today, Michael? You're good?
I'm fine. How are you, Yemi?
Not bad, not bad. Can't complain, still healthy. Anyways, we've got a couple of boxing topics to discuss because boxing has been very busy, sport as of late. First of all, apparently, according to news, Katie Taylor is officially fighting Amanda Serrano for undisputed lightweight championship on April the 30th in Madison Garden. What do you think of that, Michael?
What's been announced?
Apparently, it's been confirmed. Yeah, they haven't got a press conference announced, but apparently, it's pretty much be confirmed April 30th.
I think it's a good fight. Um, I actually think Serrano can beat her. I think Katie Taylor just seems to be getting more and more hittable every fight.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these boxers, they make bad choices. So Katie Taylor training with this guy called Ross Enemy. Yeah, but he hasn't got a background in boxing. He's basically a guy who I know who he is. Basically, he used to do like these articles online, strength and conditioning, how to do plyometric push-ups and all these different kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, physically he's a very healthy man, but when it comes to boxing, he hasn't really got a background in boxing. So
Yeah.
and to me, Katie Taylor went to him like she's an Olympic gold medalist. Well, to me, when you've got someone that's already at that level, then they're ready made. So I don't really see what he's done for her. When I get a chance to meet him, I'm gonna ask him these questions face to face. I don't mean to be rude or harsh, but it's just facts. It's not. It's like if a fighter came to me and said they wanted me to train them, I'd laugh. I
Yeah.
said, why you come? Why
Recently,
come?
I don't think
You know,
Katie
so
looked impressive, especially with the Jennifer Han and Sharapova fight. She struggled quite, a lot in those two fights. So she's been slacking lately in her recent performances. She hasn't been, as of now, she hasn't won her fights as convincingly as she has in the past. There's been, quite a lot of close fights. So, and Serrano definitely be probably her best opponent on paper, definitely. And I think Serrano at the moment looks to be in the better condition as well as in a prime. And I think she might, she's older than Katie Taylor. I think Miranda Serrano, to me, it looks more impressive recently, and probably may beat her. I think Katie Taylor will actually lose her undefeated record in the fight in April. I put Amanda Serrano as a favourite at the moment.
have you seen Amanda Serrano's fights? What do you think of Serrano?
Yeah, she's good. She's very excited to watch. She's very, she's impressed with me. Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. She definitely, to me, looks to be. That's why I'm if I put money on it, I think she'll beat Kate Taylor. Especially she got some power as well, and I think Kate Taylor maybe if she gets into a scratch, maybe even get stopped by Kate. Kate Taylor might get stopped by Amanda Serrano in the late rounds. The only way Kate Taylor can beat Amanda if she really popular about boxes are sticks to a technical game plan, doesn't engage, and just does boxes and moves.
We saw the fight with Tasha Jonas. I mean, Tasha Jonas did very well against Katie Taylor.
Yeah, definitely. Very close fight.
Yeah, but just, personally, I think, I'll say I think Serrano wins the fight. I don't really know what her trainer, Katie Taylor's trainer, obviously I've already said it, but he's not experienced in boxing, so he's not going to understand how to teach you skill. He's not going to understand how to teach you defense. And even me, I've been around boxing a long time, but I wouldn't say I know how to teach a fighter skill. Like if you came to me, I know I can teach you about media and publicity. I know that stuff, but I wouldn't really know how to train a fighter, So, but yeah, I've already covered it, but yeah, I'll go for Serrano. I just think Katie Taylor, and she's fast, but I wouldn't really say she's got a good defense. It's just because
she's soft and she's very fisty. She hasn't got power whatsoever. So I don't think she got the power to keep Amanda off bay. Because Amanda's the most aggressive, come forward fighter.
To me, she's much more. Like, I think she's more experienced. I think she's got a better record, Serrano. But yeah, obviously we'll see. But to me, I think it's a massive fight. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait the press conference as well. Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn. The battle of the loudmouths. Maybe interested.
Oh yeah, that's going to be quite amusing. I think they get on, so I don't really think they're gonna. I don't really think they're gonna insult each other. But it'll be interesting to see Eddie Hearn and Jake Paul.
Okay, speaking, April 30th looks to be a day to remember in boxing. Apparently, as well, Oscar Valdez is fighting Shakur Stevenson as well for unification at featherweight on April 30th. So looks like that day's going to be action packed, especially for boxing fans. What do you think of that fight? That fight's going to be a classic. If that fight comes on, wow, we're in for a treat. What do you think, Michael?
I think that's an excellent fight. I think I don't know. People don't really talk about Shakur Stevenson as much as Lopez and Lomo and the others. But I think he's very, very good. I think he's a
Yeah,
very
definitely.
skilled.
He had a veteran like Jamal Harron with ease because Harron was a spare veteran and he just handled him like a baby. Absolutely, dismantle him. Put him into retirement. Absolutely, it was just a very impressive performance.
It was a special fight, and I just think people sort of underestimating how good Shakur Stevenson is. I mean, don't look, anybody can be beaten, but I think he's a very special fighter, and yeah, that's a fight I really want to see that fight, and
Yeah,
I've
that
just
could be a fight of the year potentially.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't. A lot of fighters sometimes we don't see the fights that we want to see, like Crawford, Spence, and so on, AJ Fury, etc., etc. But yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson's an excellent fight.
Yeah, I think at the moment, Shakur Stevenson at the moment is probably my favorite American fighter. In terms of of the future. It's probably, in my opinion, Shakur Stevenson is our closest thing to be next to Crawford. I think that good. I think he's a lot of talent, and I think he beats Oscar Valdez if they fight in April. I think he beats him. I put money on Shakur Stevenson. I remember he's in my good books. He's got to do good things in boxing. Shakur Stevenson.
What other, but see, this is what boxing needs because you've just mentioned two great fights, but you just need to have that momentum in boxing, like in other sports. What other fights would you like to see in boxing between two world class fighters?
Yeah,
We've mentioned.
I want to see how good Tank really is. I want to see Tank versus Lomachenko, Tank versus Devin Haney, Tank versus and Josh Kambosos. Tank's the fight that he's not really showing his potential. He's fighting all his mediocre opposition, not really showing if he's how good he is as a fighter. Not proving to us that he's a power fighter.
Oh, yeah, but I agree. I think Tanks. I mean, look, they're decent opponents, but it's like football, like in football, in other sports, but you see the best versus the best. And yeah, some of them, it's like some of the guys he's been fighting. Look, they're decent opponents. Like like in football terms, football terms, you're talking Chelsea, Barcelona, etc. But it's like obviously I'm not as knowledgeable about football, but it's like you want to see the big matchups. So in football, it's like the big Arsenal versus Man U or Real Madrid versus whoever, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, and to me, I think that's what boxing needs. I want to see a lot of these young guns, like Wilder's lost, but listen, those were amazing fights. I want to see Wilder come back and, like get some of these fights on. What's Golovkin up to? You got the Charlo brothers. Like look what Canelo's doing.
Yeah,
Why is
absolutely.
Canelo amazing? Well, he's been taking on so many high level opponents, and that's what I want to see in boxing.
So what do you think of the Fury, Tyson Fury Dylan White press been delayed for a couple of days now? Apparently, it's been pushed out to Friday. So what do you think of that? Will you actually have a final decision on Friday, or what's going to happen now, in your opinion, regarding this purse split? Because it looks like it doesn't need to be going anywhere, close. It needs to be, keep getting delayed and extended, and still not, arbitration, all that stuff.
I was just getting silly now. So, yeah, as I said, I think I said before, I don't see the fight happening. Yeah, it's just getting silly. I mean, look, if you don't want to fight each other, then just don't. I don't think they're scared of each other, but it's just greed, isn't it? This is the problem in boxing. Greed. People become very greedy. If I was in Dylan White's position, just take the fight.
In your
You
opinion,
know,
what happens next? Do the Fury fight come to this agreement? Does Fury okay? What happens next, in your opinion, Fury White? What's going to be the outcome?
I think Fury's going to keep the belts. I mean, look, he might vacate, but I'm guessing. And obviously, if anybody watching this video wants to leave a comment, your opinion's as valid as mine. But Fury's gone through a lot to win the belts, so I don't think you're just going to give him up. But he might do. Obviously, only he knows. I don't think he's going to vacate. But they'll just say, you know, we've offered Dylan White, we've offered it to him, and he doesn't want to take it. And I really don't think the fight's going to happen.
Well, if White doesn't fight Fury next, who does he fight? Because the only way to world title is fighting Fury. Because I don't think he gets the AJ Usyk winner. Because I think the winner of Usyk AJ fights, you know, Fury for undisputed. That means White have to wait at least another year or two, potentially 2 years, to get another world title shot.
But boxers make silly choices all the time, don't they? You know, he turned AJ down. They offered him AJ for $5 million and the belts. Unless I'm mistaken, you know, if anyone knows more, let me know. He turned the AJ fight down, but AJ went and fought Ruiz, got knocked out. You know, Dylan White could have been the one to knock him out. Yeah, but look, boxers make silly choices all the time. They jump from trainer to trainer. They pick people that aren't the best trainers. They do silly interviews. They contradict themselves. They say this, they do that. So
if Fury doesn't fight regardless of the person, but if Fury, if White doesn't fight he doesn't take the 80-20 split and fights Fury for WBC title, I don't feel sorry for White anymore. I don't feel sorry for him. He might have fought 3 years plus to get the title shot, but he's had 2 opportunities and he's still he hasn't took them for whatever reason, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. If you fight Tyson Fury, he gets a good payday regardless, and he'll fight the number 1 heavyweight in the world. And he beats him, plus off a miracle. He's the king of the world. The world is his oyster. So I don't feel for White if he doesn't, take the opportunity to fight Fury, regardless of the purse split, because his opportunity, this is what he's been working his whole life to be a world, title contender.
Oh yeah, look, I never felt sorry for him. I don't mind Dylan. We used to train in the same gym, so Miguel's in Brixton. So I used to see him every now and then, but. I mean, look, the opportunities have been there, and all I'll say briefly, look, you've been offered the fight, 80, you've been offered 20%, just take it. Okay, I'll give you a simple example, yeah. I think this is a relevant point. Let's just say Dylan White agreed to spar me, for argument's sake, yeah, because for those of you who don't know, I've sparred Tyson Fury on 2 different occasions, once on camera, once off camera. I believe me and Dylan White are going to spar someday. It might happen this year, it might happen next year. If that opportunity came up, I would do it under whatever circumstances. Obviously, so long as he's not going to hit me full power. But if they said to me, come to Portugal to his training camp, I'd rather not, because it's going to cost me money to go there. It's going to cost me money to take time off work. It's going to cost me hundreds of pounds, basically. But if that was the only option, I'd say, fine, I'll do it. Because it'd be worth it getting footage of me sparring a world-class heavyweight. So what I'm trying to say, I think it's a relevant point to make. Sometimes in life, just take the choice. Just take the option. And then once you've achieved it, you're in a better position to bargain. So I could use that. If I sparred him, I could then use it to get other people in boxing to take notice of me. But I wouldn't try and negotiate. I wouldn't try and say, oh, this or that, or let's do it. But anyway, I hope I'm not sounding silly now. But my advice to him, just take it, mate. Just take it. Beat Fury if you think you can beat him. And then now you're the man. Now you're the one who gets to make all the demands. So
absolutely. This okay. Yeah, absolutely. Why if you're watching this video, take the money. And prove it, the haters as well. Prove that, you can beat, the Gypsy King. And if you do beat him, the world's your oyster. So go for it, man. Go for it. Anyways, on to the next topic. What's your view on this Terence Crawford, lawsuit against Bob Arum for racism?
I heard about that. I don't know. People chuck around the word racism a lot.
Does it have a point? Does it have a legit, case? Because how can you prove Arum is racist? What's the the angle.
Yeah, but I don't really know what grounds you're going to claim racism, because I just think it's a silly lawsuit. I mean, Bob Arum's worked with how many black fighters? Ali, Foreman, the list goes on, Mayweather. Obviously, Ali and Foreman were world famous national figures. And Terence Crawford, I'll keep it as short as I can and just jump in if you want. Terence Crawford probably he's not even that well known in his hometown, I would imagine.
He's not an American superstar, he's not even, a star in America in general,
So what I'd say, I'll keep it short as I can, just jump in if you want. But it's going to be, I don't see how you're going to claim racism, because Bob Arum's just going to say, he's going to say you're a boring person, your interviews are boring, and he's going to say he's greedy, and he's going to say, well, it's not my fault if Crawford's not promotable.
Crawford as well got paid well. He got paid at least $3 million a fight when he was with Bob Arum. He's got some big paydays. He made like $4 or $5 million against Khan, another $4 or $5 million against Porter. So Porter's done very well financially off of Bob Arum. So Bob has got a point there. I paid you well, even though you lost me a lot of money, but at the end of the day, you got paid well. You're a multi-millionaire because of me.
And look, the thing is, it's like a lot of first, do I think Bob Arum's racist? No, I don't think he's racist. But a lot of them, they come up with, a lot of these fighters are very...
They don't accountability for the mistakes, for their failures. Those blame the promoters or the people for them not doing the well commercially.
But the thing is, like someone like Crawford, the general perception I get, they've got unrealistic demands, unrealistic expectations. And it's like, look, he's not the most interesting person. He doesn't really do interviews. And if you compare him to Adrian Broner, obviously, and I'm not encouraging this, but obviously he's much better than Broner. But obviously Broner's much more famous. So I'm not saying do what Broner does, but... Oh, and the thing is, most people look at Mayweather. Yeah, but Mayweather... So obviously everyone wants to get the Mayweather money. Yeah, but Mayweather's earned it. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. He took on how many people at a young age? Hernandez and all these sort of people. When he beat De La Hoya, that was his big. That's when his career changed. So a lot of them, they want Mayweather money, but you're not willing to do the same stuff that he did. And he had a personality which... I'm not his biggest fan, but he's got a massive sort of... He appeals...
He's a great self-promoter as well. Like Crawford, Mayweather's a great self-promoter. He knows to promote himself. He understands how to brand himself well.
Yeah. So, this whole racism. So, the question
the thing as well, Bob Arum, like Frank Warren, he just. I think Bob Arum is an old dinosaur. It's not hip to the young market, to the millennial market. It doesn't understand how social media works. Because think about it, I don't think Bob Arum has done a great job with Josh Taylor either. He couldn't get Josh Taylor, a deal with Sky to air out, his undisputed championship with Jose Ramirez. I don't think he's done a good job. He did a good job with Gondo. I don't think he's done a good job with other fighters as well. He didn't promote Mikey Garcia the best either. So I think Bob Arum he just does a black fight. He doesn't understand how promotion works in general as far as the current market. Maybe in the past he did, but I think he's just too old. I just don't understand how the boxing works nowadays in terms of the promotion side of things. He can recruit great talent, Bob Arum. He knows how to spot talent, but doesn't know how to make them mainstream superstars like he did in the past. I don't really understand how social media works. Him and Rowan are so alike, the old dinosaurs.
Who else would you say is an old dinosaur? Arum, Warren?
Mick Hennessy.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone in box nowadays, apart from probably Eddie Hearn and maybe you could say Floyd Mayweather, don't understand how promoting works nowadays. They're too old school. They rely too much on the box rather than They think basically Eddie Hearn understands how to pitch to the casual audience, whereas Warren, Bob Arum, the others don't understand. They think all you have to be is a good fighter, and then they will sell to the audience. No, they don't understand how social media works. They don't understand how branding works, social media branding, and all that stuff works. Well, Eddie Hearn, no. Eddie Hearn is the only person who understands how to appeal to the casual market.
No, you're right. And, I think Eddie Hearn makes it look very easy. But, people don't realize how much effort and work it takes. 'Cause I've seen Eddie Hearn. I see this guy he'll do every single interview request. He puts a lot of time and effort into it. Whereas you look at Arum, if you look at recently, you remember when he kicked off? You remember someone said to him about they asked him about Lopez. They were saying if you just paid Lopez the money, and I'm not gonna swear, but he started swearing and shouting. And then when the woman was trying to, I don't know her name, but she wanted Wilder and Fury to do a face-off, then the comments that he was making were, sort of stuff that would upset women. So, just disgusting. Like, to me, I thought it was disgusting what he said to that Mike Coppinger. I know a lot of people found it funny, but I just thought it's like you shouldn't be talking to other people, the humans, the adults like that, or not even that, but you shouldn't talk to anyone like that. So what I'm trying to say, but you never see Eddie Hearn behave like that, So a lot of fighters need to wise up here. Look, if you want to sign with Arum and Warren, that's up to you, but I would not rely on those guys to promote you. Like they're bad-tempered old men. They're not going to have the time. Like, how old is Arum? It's like, is he 80 or 90?
Yeah, 90.
The dude's 90. Listen, I'm 31. Some days I get home, I'm planning to sort of do these Zoom interviews with people, but I get home, I jump into bed, like I just go to sleep. So imagine someone who's 90. Like, how you can't rely on this guy. You think he's got the energy, But I'll leave it there anyway. But Crawford, my advice here, like he's not racist. Like, you made a big mistake signing with him, and you got to face the consequences.
So yeah, I just think Bob Arum, like Frank Owens, old school. I just think it's too old to understand how social media works, how the boxing game works, how to understand how our generation works in terms of appealing to the new boxing market. It's like trying to teach a lion how to eat apples. It's not his nature.
Well, yeah, but look, they're not even willing to learn. So it's not, it's like, what's the best? How can I describe it? Just don't rely on them. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can sign with them if you want, but you got to take responsibility for your own life and your own career. It's like what I'm doing right now, like both of us. We're not relying on anyone. We're putting the time and effort in to build our channels up. You recently got an interview with Tasha Jonas, which I'm happy for you. As I'm not jealous of anybody. I want competition in boxing. I'm confident in what I can do. The next time I see Tasha Jonas, I've got no problem asking her to spar. So that's my strength. I'll spar people. So I'm not scared of any competition. But what I'm saying though, but I'm not. Don't rely on people. Like, I can't just rely on Kell Brook, or I can't rely on. If I met David Haye, and if I said to David Haye, do you want to spar me on camera for the fans? If David Haye says yes, that's going to be massive for me. But I'm not relying on him. In the meantime, I'm staying busy. So that's what I'm trying to say about fighters. You got to get out there, promote yourselves. Don't rely on a bunch of 18, 90-year-old men who they don't care about you anyway. They just want to make money from you. So
think about it. The only fighter that he cares about really Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is the only person that's making Bob Arum money. He's definitely one of the biggest fighters on the planet. And if he fights AJ, that's $200 million plus fight. So obviously Bob Arum is only going to care about people making the money. If you're not making the money, like all promoters, he's not going to care about you. Simple as.
Yeah, but it's not. He doesn't care about Fury himself, but he cares about the money that Fury can make for him. So because you never hear Bob Arum talking about the fighters he's worked with in the past. You don't see him going out of his way to meet them or talk to them. Like, if you're not making money for them, they don't care about you anymore. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And
So
what was that? Was it Eddie Hearn that said it? My boxers are like my family. But yes, boxing are not your family. If boxers, these promoters are not your family. If you're not making the money, then they don't care about you. If you are making the money, that's when they care about you. It's business to them. You just, you're their property. You're their tools. You're their assets to make money. You're not your family.
but yeah, as you said, he's not. But you and me get this. Like, he's not. Like, I'll keep it short, but they're lying to you. Like when Eddie says that, yeah, but if he's not, he only says that about active fighters. So if you say the quickest way I can prove he's talking rubbish. Who is the first professional fighter that Eddie Hearn worked with?
Was
Do you know?
it Ollie Harrison?
Yes, yes. So if he's saying, "Oh, my fighters are like my family," like for me, I personally, all the fighters that I've worked with or interviewed or whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't say they're like my family, but I'm a very honest, decent person. So if you've done things for me in the past, even if I become rich and famous, I'm not going to forget it. So people like Brandon Rios who sparred me when he didn't need to, or Kell Brook when he sparred me recently, he didn't need to spar me, but he gave me the time of day. I'll remember it, and if I can ever find a way to sort of repay you, I will. But if you look at Eddie Hearn, if he's telling the truth, my fighters are my family, but you never talk about Audley Harrison. I've never seen you do a video together since. I've never seen you invite him onto DAZN to try and give him some work. So you're lying. You're talking rubbish. Because if you're saying fighters are my family, Audley Harrison will be top of the list because that's the first fighter that you worked with. So obviously,
Remember a
it's
fight
just
called Lee Purdy that retired because he's toys retina. I think it might be blind, it might be half blind. You don't hear about Eddie Hearn, talk about fighters that retired because of ill injuries and paying for the medical bills. So
it just doesn't. But all I'll say, the problem I have, I don't mind Eddie Hearn. I get on with him, but I, I just the problem I have is fighters are gullible.
yeah, definitely.
It's like people seem to believe him. And I don't mind Eddie Hearn. I'm not taking a shot at him, but I think he should stop saying that.
It was business, it's business. A promote relationship and fight for promotion for most parts business. If you're making the money, they're good. They love you. If you're not making the money, then they disregard you until you lose. And if you lose, definitely, if you do lose your title and you lose a couple of fights, then you're definitely in the back burner. Onto the next, hot prize.
Well, just my advice for this. I think some of these fighters take responsibility. As I say, don't. I'm not blaming fighters, but I'm saying don't rely on someone. Don't put yourself in a position where you're relying on one person. Because if they let you down, you're going to be in problems. You know, I just Eddie
Yeah.
Hearn's not the only one.
Anyways, that's enough of promoters now and
Yeah,
boxers.
enough.
Anyway, what do you think of AJ new situation? Who do you think AJ would use as new trainer? Will it be one of his Shields? Will it be not so one of will it be one of the Shields, or will it be Robert Garcia? Who do you reckon AJ's trainer will be? We're all dying to find out.
I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know if I care. I don't think it's going to be Garcia because Robert Garcia has worked with sort of smaller people, isn't it? Like his
Yeah,
brother Mikey.
lightweights, welterweights, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Mikey Garcia. It's probably someone like Ronnie Shields. Shields has worked with heavyweights before, so I'm just guessing probably Ronnie Shields. But I don't really see him making much difference. I just don't think AJ
You
can
don't
beat
think
Usyk.
AJ, you don't think AJ can beat Usyk now in the rematch? So I think AJ needs more time. Even if he gets a new trainer, he needs more time to adjust. Like I said, it says like take at least 2-3 fights for a boxer to understand his new trainer methods from a new trainer. So it'll take more time to AJ to adjust to his new trainers, way of training them and fighting style.
I'm not trying to pull rank on you, Yemi, but have you ever boxed at all? Have you trained boxing?
I've only sparred.
Okay. Has anyone ever trained you?
Trained me. No, I've only done sparring and punching
Okay.
bags.
So the reason I'm asking, I'm not trying to look down on you. Like, obviously, your opinion is very valid, but I'm trying to point out the thing about AJ going from this trainer to that trainer. When you train with someone new, it's so awkward because it's like it happens probably every single time, but they're trying to get you to do it like this and do it like that, and it's going to take you how long to learn it, and then you're gonna go into the rematch for the first time. So at least you're not even giving yourself a couple of fights to try and get used to it. So you're gonna go into a rematch with the guy that schooled you. I think you're being like his ego is out of control. Just take the L. Just take the L. Go away for six. Go away for a year. Fight other people, and then come back. Look at Muhammad Ali. He lost fights. He never rematched them straight away. He rematched them down the line and he won. So, but you're not giving yourself enough time. You know, I think he's being silly if he really thinks he's going to beat Usyk. And it's like we're now what, the end of January. Like, this is ridiculous. This is the end of January, and you still haven't picked or maybe he has and he hasn't told us. But it's like the end of January, and you really think you're gonna beat this guy. Meanwhile, what's Usyk been doing? He's just been chilling with the same trainer the whole time, doing what he's been doing for years, perfecting it. And you think you're gonna beat it? It's not impossible, but you're just making it hard for yourself.
And again, Usyk and Ruiz are two different fighters. Ruiz is a good fighter, but Usyk is an elite fighter. Usyk is a potential Hall of Famer. So Usyk has to be you has to age has to be special. You can't be just be decent to be a guy like Usyk. Has to be special. Has to be something phenomenal. So because Ruiz is a good fighter, but Ruiz was easy to beat because Ruiz again was a fighter that lacked discipline and he would put on weight easily, and he wasn't mostly dedicated. But Usyk is an animal. He's a absolute professional. So Usyk, age has to be something special to beat a guy like Usyk.
I'll say quickly, and I say this to Joshua's face. I like Joshua, and I don't think Joshua would hit me in a public place, or I hope not. But I don't give him any credit for the Ruiz rematch. Like that rematch was rubbish. And I'd say it to his face because look, I'm not trying to show off here, but look, I've boxed here. There's been times when I've been extremely fat and out of shape. And when I was extremely fat and out of shape, my performance in sparring went way down. So, like, look, be honest, yeah. Don't lie to us. You took on a man who was fat and out of shape, and you didn't even try to go toe to toe with him. You didn't try to knock him out. You ran. I could do that. I've got fast legs. I've sparred people where, yeah, they were better fighters than me, but because I run so much, I can stay in there for a couple of rounds. Like, let's say Harvey Davies, when we were young, because I could run around so quick, I was able to sort of survive. If I was to go toe to toe with a Harvey, back in 2008, 2009, whenever he used to corner me, and I'm not showing off, but I think I'm entitled to say this. If he trapped me against the ropes, it was big problems. He's very strong and he can punch hard. But if you put me in center of the ring, I can make you chase me all day. This is what I'm trying to say about AJ. It's like, mate, you ran. I know you won the fight, but it's like you ran from the guy, and this ain't Usyk's not going to turn up in that kind of shape. So, like, don't lie to us. Don't tell us, oh, I beat Ruiz. That, mate, you beat some fat out of shape guy.
Why do you think is AJ mentally weak? Because AJ said the reason why he boxed Usyk because he wanted to please the haters because he was very annoyed about Tyson Fury calling him a bodybuilder, top bodybuilder. So AJ wanted to prove people like Fury wrong, like I can actually box and very technical. So why does AJ care so much about people think about? Does he want to be a cop? Does he doesn't want to be the crowd pleaser? Because very obviously AJ is a superstar. He has a lot of people backing him. But he has to be very PC. But why does AJ care so much about people think in general? Why can't he just be himself and be AJ is a boxer, he's a brawler. He can hit hard. Just be a brawler. Don't why you're trying to be like Tyson Fury and try to be more a technical boxer.
Yeah, but look, I'll keep it short. I just think he's mentally weak because I've seen some of those comments. But look, at the end of the day, we're all people. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's not a problem. But for you, from your point of view, for anyone, just do what's best for you. It doesn't matter what other people have got to say. It's like with you, yeah, Yemi. People might, oh, Yemi's he's got a small channel. He's not going to get anywhere. He should just give it up. You're never going to be an IFL. Just do what's best for you. And it's like for me, yeah, on a deep philosophical level, so I sometimes I get comments on my videos and people say things, but for some of these negative things people say about me, like I don't really care. Like it's funny how they think it gets to me. It doesn't. I'll do what's best for me. I'm not interested in people that I don't know. I don't even listen to my parents. So, I'm not going to listen to people online that I've never met. Going to AJ, just do what's best for you. It doesn't matter what people have to say. So when you say someone like Tyson Fury, yeah, but first of all, Tyson Fury is an idiot anyway. And he's your rival. So he's not going to say nice things about you. And for you to be influenced by what other people say, it just shows weakness.
Yeah, it's got
Stupid.
this split personality. 1 minute he's trying to be humble, inspirational. Next minute trying to be a one-man gangster, saying people like Tyson, like people like Larry Hoover and Nicky Barnes are his role models. So what's going on with AJ's mentality? Trying to be one person, and the next minute trying to be somebody else just to please a different audience.
No, but I just think I'll say it to his face, and I hope I'm not coming across as rude, but someone needs to say it. I don't think Anthony Joshua's a silly person because, yeah, for one day you say this, next day you say that. It's like, but you can't, it doesn't matter what people online have to say about you. It's like with me, people say things about me, yeah. Hand on heart, I don't lie. None of it gets to me. None of it. The only one thing that upset me, well, not upset me, the only one thing that annoyed me, when I interviewed Eddie Hearn, I had less than 12 minutes. And then, you get people, oh, you didn't bring the same energy, you didn't ask him any hard questions. Apart from that, nothing gets to me. Like, say someone wants to threaten me, which sometimes people do threaten me on my videos. Yeah. Like, stop getting cheeky. Like, if I see you, Michael, I'm going to slap you. Yeah. And I've said to them, please do it. So like that wouldn't bother me. People threatening me online and, oh, we're going to slap you. That wouldn't bother me at all. It doesn't. So what I'm trying to say about AJ, it doesn't matter what people have to say. Like I hope this response is not too long, but just do what's best for you. But he's putting himself in a bad position now where, as I've already said it, like you're trying to rematch this guy when it's very unlikely you can beat him. So, I mean, but, I don't want to talk on too long, but you're being silly. Who gives a toss what people think? And this is the last thing I'll say. It's like, if you was to actually meet these people face to face, and it's the same for me, yeah, if I was to actually meet these people, forget physical confrontation or any of that stuff. If anybody has something to say about me, if you wanted to say it to my face, I have no problem. I'll listen to what you have to say. But are you going to be talking any sense? So this is what I say about Anthony Joshua. The stuff people say about you is probably nonsense anyway. So, like Tyson Fury, I mean, I'll keep it. It's like, this is the same Tyson Fury that you had the fight with Otto Wallin, which you could say you lost. You were lucky not to get knocked out by Steve Cunningham. I don't think you won the first John McDermott fight. So, you're talking as if you're perfect.
And well, I don't want to say apparently he did donate these wildlife purse to that charity. Was it meant to?
Sorry.
Was
it he's lying. Sorry.
Yeah, that 8 million charity that 8 million purse he got from was it first wildlife fight went to give to charity? Apparently, never did. Yeah,
that is lying. He's lying because that's something like that. There's no way they wouldn't have announced it publicly. So he's obviously lying.
Yeah, man. So Tyson Fury is full of contradictions. So you just got to take what he says with a pinch of salt and just move on. So that's what.
Come on, and isn't so a quick point? Sorry, yeah, isn't this the same Tyson Fury? Yeah, that has failed a drugs test before. Like people can say what they want to say about AJ. He's never failed a drug, so you can't take Tyson Fury. Like if it was me personally, I just wouldn't pay any attention to what he's got to say. It doesn't matter. Just do your own. So it's like with me, I'll do what I want to do. I don't care what people say on my videos. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. I'll do what I want to do. So you can't pay any attention to Tyson Fury.
And what speak about Tyson Fury? What do you think of him trying to try to get a fight with Francis Ngannou? What do you think of that? Is that actually going to happen, or that just hype or media buzz or clickbait? Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Well, what do you think of that? And the whole
Yeah,
UFC and boxing matchups.
my guess is I could see it happening. I think Ngannou's his his contract is coming to an end in UFC. So yeah, I could see it happening because basically UFC fighters they don't make a lot of money. I think him versus Fury will probably do a lot of numbers. I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows he can't beat Fury. But look, money's money.
Yeah, money can make you do crazy things.
So a lot of I'm not. But even listen, if I could get any of these YouTubers to fight me, I'd fight them. And I'm not I'm not trying to sound. I'm not delusional. I would say I'm obviously a very intelligent person. I'd fight a UFC guy in boxing, but I'd only do it if I thought I could realistically beat you. So if you talk about people like David Hay and if they said to me, for argument's sake, like, would I fight David Hay or Mike Tyson? I wouldn't fight them. Like, I don't care how much. If you offer me money to do an exhibition against them, so long as they're not allowed to hit me for real, I take on David Hay or Mike Tyson. I'll do it, but not if they're hitting me for real. So going back to UFC, like, listen, if I thought I could beat some of these UFC guys, I'd fight them. I mean, but only if I thought I could realistically win. So listen, money's money. So, but same with you, yeah. If you had the opportunity to fight someone, Tyson Fury's been boxing for how many years, yeah? So imagine if they said to him, "We're going to pay you 5 mil to fight someone in box who's never had a boxing fight in his life." You flip and take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you pay me 10 million plus to fight a YouTuber or someone that I can definitely beat. Why not? It's a win-win situation for me. Lowest high reward, most definitely.
Yeah, so long as it's not Mike Tyson.
In the
What
exhibition
would
fight,
you?
yeah. Maybe in the proper fight, probably not. Exhibition, yeah, possibly. Depends how much to pay me. 'Cause 20 million wouldn't look so bad. 20 million.
Look, I'd fight Mike Tyson, but look, so long as he's not allowed to hit me for real. If he's hitting me with like a couple weak jabs, okay. But if he's allowed to hit me full power, I say forget the money. It's not it's not worth dying for.
Absolutely. Speaking about another potential, it is actually going to happen. Um, Apparently, it's been agreed. Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson for $35 million. It's been verbal agreed.
I heard about that.
What do you think of that?
I could see it happening because again, money's money. I just think it's too much money to turn down. And obviously Logan Paul fought Mayweather, but I just don't think these guys are stupid enough where I just
I,
don't see how it's going to be a real fight. I
think
just
it's
don't
going to be
see
a
it.
no knockout clause. I reckon they will fight, but it won't be. It'd be like the Roy Jones, Mike Tyson. We just be, titty tatter. There won't be any proper, They won't be trying to knock each other out. It's just be titty tatter. I think that the fight goes. It won't be a knockout. Mike Tyson won't try to knock out, Jake Paul. I can't see it happening.
I just I could see some sort of exhibition happening between them. Because obviously people, look, it's going to do pay-per-views regardless. But I just don't see how you're going to get Jake Paul. He can't be that stupid. I just don't see how you're going to get him to agree to fight Mike Tyson, not hold him back. I just don't see it. Because I mean, look at who he's taken on. He took on that fat UFC fighter. I forget his name.
Yeah, Ben Askren.
That's the one. He took on. I mean, the other guys are not even worth mentioning. He
You've got
took on
KSI's brother, Deji. Yeah.
Deji. He took on the basketball player. He took on Tyron Woodley, obviously. And
What's your opinion about that fight? Will that fight fix? A lot of people think Woodley took a dive in a rematch. Do you actually think Woodley got knocked out legitly by Jake Paul? I reckon that was a dive. Because one of my best mates thought, like, 100% that, you got paid to take a dive in that rematch. What do you think?
No, I think it's a legitimate knockout. I could be wrong, but just if you're going to fix it, I don't think it'd look like that. Just look. I mean, Jake Paul's a big guy. I mean, he's been training in boxing for how long, and it seems legitimate enough. But I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't see why he can't do it.
So imagine Sky box office 20 quid, 25 quid. Are you paying for it? Jake Paul,
No.
Mike Tyson.
No, I wouldn't. I just don't think it's a real fight. Because all I was trying to say here, look, if you look at the guys he's boxed, but they're nothing special. Obviously, I give him credit. He tried to take on Tommy Fury. But again, Tommy Fury's nothing special. I don't care how long he's been boxing. He's beaten no one of note. So he's taken on all these low-level people, and some of them are small. And, you're asking me to believe he's going to go in there with Mike Tyson. I'm not saying he won't get in there, but no, I don't believe he'll do it for real. And remember, he's got a team as well. They're not stupid. I mean, well, you think they're going to let him fight Mike Tyson? I mean, yeah, I can see it happening. But someone's going to say to Mike Tyson, here's 1 million or 2 million cash or whatever. But you have to sign this contract. You're not allowed to kill the kid.
Yeah, you can't knock him out.
And they'll just say to him, they'll just say, Mike Tyson probably wins. And they'll just say, look, Mike, just play with him. Just win it on points and you get money for it. And Mike Tyson's just going to say,
easy payday, easy work.
Pay my bills. It's like Mayweather. Like, if you watch Mayweather Logan Paul, Mayweather was clearly carrying him. That's obvious.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So Tyson's just going to carry this guy. And I mean, on the one hand, I want to call it circus boxing. But on the other hand, I'll be honest, if I could get in the ring with any of these people, I'd do it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely fight these YouTubers, for all the money in the world, 100%. Speaking about another YouTuber, apparently Mayweather was fighting a guy called Money Kicks, another YouTuber, on February 12th in Dubai.
Yeah.
What do you think of
that? I don't know, man. It's just getting ridiculous now. It's just money, isn't it? I know who Money Kicks is, but it's just, if Mayweather's going to get money to just mess around with his kids, what can I say? It's just a sad boxing.
You find the YouTube business, so I think YouTubers just fight either YouTubers or retired boxers. I don't think YouTubers should be fighting legit, fighters, and vice versa. Because I was really annoyed about that. What's that? You cruiserweight champion, is it Marius Braders getting a tattoo of Jake Paul, trying to get a payday off him because you're an elite fighter. Why are you fighting a YouTuber? I know the money's great, money's important, but why are you fighting these YouTubers? You can beat them with one hand, but hand your back. I'm okay if it's YouTuber against YouTubers, I'm fine. Or if YouTuber gets retired fighters like Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, I'm okay with that because Mike Tyson's retired, he's way past it.
No.
But legit fighters, actually legit active fighters, like I'd be annoyed if Tyson Fury fought Jake Paul because Tyson Fury is a current active fighter, but Mike Tyson is long retired and just a fun exhibition fight. But But me, like people that made these videos are clearly are not past it in the planet. They're actually champions. They should be calling out YouTubers. Absolutely not.
I just stupid. I saw Bredis and yeah, but I don't think these YouTubers should be taking on any professional fighters. And when you said that thing about Mike Tyson being retired, it's irrelevant. Mike Tyson will still destroy these people. Put into context. I'll give you a quick example. I'm not saying I can win, but if you want to look at the level between YouTubers and actual boxers,
Yeah.
I'd be willing to jump in the ring. Like, let's just say, call it what you want, call it a sparring session. I'd be willing to get in the ring with Jake Paul or Logan Paul today. I'm not saying I'd win, but I'd be willing to do one round, no holding back. No, I'm not saying they can't drop me, but I'd be willing to take the risk for free. If you're talking about Mike Tyson, I'd be willing to spar him, but I wouldn't tell him you can hit me full power. I wouldn't tell him that. And I'd specifically say we spar today for argument's sake. I'd specifically say, Mike, can you please try not to hurt me? I'd genuinely say that to him. Please try not to knock me out. Please try not to break my ribs. I'd genuinely say that to him. If it was Jake Paul, yeah, I'd tell you can hit me as hard as you like. You know, so there's a massive gulf. I just don't want to see them in with any professional box, whether they're retired or not. You know, whether it's David Hay or Mike Tyson or same with Roy Jones. I'd get in the ring with Roy Jones to spar today, but I wouldn't tell him to hit me full power. No, I wouldn't tell him that. Same with you don't even have to. It don't even have to be Roy Jones. If it was Roberto Duran, I'd spar him. But again, like I haven't got an ego, so I wouldn't tell him to go full power. I'll get in there, but no, I wouldn't tell him to. You know what I mean, so I just think it's silly. They're not fighters. You know, they do these little exhibitions, and you're taking on basketball players, and you know. But hey, it's just the way boxing is. But anyway, I've got to go for now. But yeah, we can try and do something longer this week if you've got time.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely when next available. Yeah, we can redo it another video. One last thing before we go, what do you think of if Dana White fought and Jake Paul, would you buy that either? About Jake Paul trying to get a fight with Dana White, from UFC.
Okay, that I would buy. Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, man, thanks guys for watching this video. Me and Emperor Michael, we'll be definitely doing another video later on in the week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You take care. Adios, amigos, guys.
Anytime.